Welcome, friends. A couple weeks ago, as part of our regular sort of Saturday morning series where we make the most viewed recipe videos on YouTube, we did a one-pot crock-pot slow cooker chicken dish that was not good. I'm going to say not good on a bunch of different levels. So and what we learned from that was you shouldn't do white chicken breast meat, skinless, boneless white chicken breast meat in a slow cooker. It comes out horrible. It's dry and tasteless and stringy. It's pretty bad. So we've set about to make the same recipe with the same sort of flavor profile, but make improvements along the way that will hopefully give you a better tasting dish, a better textured dish, but still take about the same amount of time. So the other recipe started with a vinaigrette, and so we're going to make a vinaigrette, but we're going to use some stronger and bolder flavors, and then we're going to marinate the chicken to hopefully get those flavors into the chicken. So first things first, I put in some lemon zest and then some olive oil, and now I'm going to juice these lemons and put that in as well. Now, I'm using lemon juice as the acid component because that's what was in the original recipe. But realistically, if you wanted, white wine vinegar would be fantastic in this. Any acid flavor profile that you think you'd like. I mean, red wine vinegar would work really well too, or champagne vinegar. Really, it comes down to what sort of flavor profile do you want to build in this jug to be on your chicken. Next up, a couple cloves of garlic and an onion. I've just chopped the onion in half. You don't need to be too crazy with it. Red pepper flakes, because I like to bring a little bit of heat. Salt component, because salt and acid are very important with what we're doing. Dried yellow mustard. I like that the dried yellow mustard brings a sort of a base note flavor, and it also brings a little bit of heat that adds with that red chili flake. Next in is fresh oregano and thyme. I'm using fresh. If all you have are dry, then go right ahead and use dry. It's no problem. So I think that's everything in the blender jar. Let's go ahead and blend it. Okay, now let's give it a taste and see what it's missing. If it's missing anything. This is the point where you can adjust and make the flavor profile exactly what you want. Oh, that's really nice. Really herbaceous. It's got a really strong flavor, which I think is going to work great. So, put the chicken in some kind of a container. You can do a sealable Ziploc bag or a reusable container like I have here. This is bone-on, skin-on chicken. Breast meat. So I think a lot of people take the skin off. They're afraid of the skin. They think it's going to be too fatty. So I leave the skin on and the bone in for a whole bunch of reasons, but the biggest one really is flavor and moisture. The chicken is going to be a lot more flavorful, and it's going to retain a lot more moisture as you cook it. You know, and the deal is if you don't like the skin, just peel it off after cooking and get rid of it then, but leave it on during the cooking process. So I'm going to stick this in the fridge and let that marinate. One of our regular commenters on the channel said, you know, why not just use vinaigrette that you buy at the store, which would be fantastic for this. If you have a vinaigrette or a salad dressing that you really like, an Italian salad dressing, or any salad dressing that has a flavor profile that you like, use it here instead of making your own. That'll save you a little bit of time, and you also will know what it tastes like, so you're going to love it. So I'm going to stick this in the fridge and let it marinate for a few hours, and then we'll come back and we'll make the rest of the dish. See you soon. Now, when you prep the chicken, you can also prep all of your vegetables so that when you get home from work, you just pop on the oven and get it onto a sheet tray, and it's only going to take about an hour to cook. So time-wise and effort-wise, I think this comes out about the same as the crock pot method. So you can use any vegetables that you like. I've got cauliflower, beans, shallots, carrots, potatoes. But of course, you know, whatever you want to have on the tray. Something like broccoli would be fantastic. Some people might even like Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to hit this with a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper. And we'll just give that a toss to coat it. You didn't see that. And onto our sheet tray. You can do this in a roasting pan if you wanted. I find the sheet tray, though, gives me enough space that I can get most of the vegetables out in a single layer. Now, on top of this, you put the chicken. And you could toss the vegetables with some of this marinade to give it that coating instead of the olive oil. I kind of liked the flavor. I didn't love it that way. I just kind of liked the vegetables to have a little bit of salt and pepper and olive oil to give them a little bit of a different flavor than the chicken. Julie liked it both ways. I don't know. You get to choose. That's what cooking's all about. So, into the oven this goes.
Careful, knife coming through.
I will get some forks. And we'll give this a try.
So this looks really great. I like all the vegetables.
Yeah.
Here, I'll ungracefully slice it.
Just slice it any way you can, Jules.
You know me. There's no grace in my slicing skills. Oh, bone in.
Yeah, the bone is in there.
Okay.
So I like roasted vegetables like this. I think that they get a lot more flavor. Hot.
Yes, I can see by the steam. What'd you do? Try the potato first?
No. I tried a bean first. Now the chicken.
I'm a little bit afraid, just because it's hot.
That's what it's supposed to taste like, I think. So the chicken is moist. The vegetables are roasted, which gives them
A different texture.
a different texture, and I think a better flavor. The beans, I like the beans the way they are, which is overcooked. To most people, that would be overcooked, but I really like that. If you don't like that, about halfway through the chicken being cooked, toss the beans in.
So it's still pretty lemony, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's nice that way.
Yeah, and even though I didn't put the flavoring.
I'm still hot.
That's still hot. Even though I didn't put the flavoring from the chicken on the vegetables, it still ran off into the tray, and they've got some of that flavor, which is really nice. So, I'm not going to say this is better than the crock-pot version.
It's different. You've taken the same basic ingredient. Well, we've added a few extras.
Added a few extra vegetables.
Carrots, potatoes, and chicken, with lemon as your main flavor. Mm-hmm. A slightly different interpretation.
But I think, for me, the flavor and texture is better, more pleasant to what I like. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this took any longer of active time than the crock-pot version. So, give it a try. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Let's get this to the table.